As I stepped onto the coastal steamer MS Polarlys in 1998, bound from Rørvik to Tromsø, I felt as though I was embarking on a new adventure, leaving behind the familiar and venturing into the unknown. There was a sense of eager anticipation and joy bubbling within me. I was filled with excitement at the prospect of finally leaving our home and creating some much-needed distance between my biological parents and myself. Moreover, the thought of reuniting with my brother in Tromsø brought me immense joy. I had longed for his companionship for years and was eagerly looking forward to reconnecting with him in this new chapter of my life. I remember the moment with great clarity when my biological father confided in me, expressing that it was a positive thing that I had left because now he would have my mother, his wife, all to himself. Intriguingly, just a few hours later, as I boarded MS Polarlys, my father was visibly distraught, imploring me not to leave and deeply expressing how much he would miss me. The conflicting emotions he displayed left me utterly perplexed, and I found it difficult to comprehend why he gave me such mixed messages. In addition to this internal struggle, I grappled with a genuine fear that my departure could lead to my parents' divorce, as I was no longer there to mediate between them. Amidst this emotional turmoil, my mother remained steadfast in her support, offering me encouragement to make the move and expressing her unwavering belief in my ability to navigate this significant transition. Despite the perplexing behavior of my father, I found a sense of relief as MS Polarlys began its journey, setting sail for Tromsø. The MS Polarlys voyage to Tromsø was an unforgettable 2-day journey, filled with anticipation for the adventures ahead. As Tromsø came into view, a wave of excitement mixed with a tinge of nervousness washed over me. It marked the beginning of a new chapter in my life, but lingering echoes of my father's hurtful words threatened to cloud my optimism. However, the sight of my brother and his wife waiting on the docks to welcome me reassured me that I wouldn't be facing this new beginning alone. Seeing him, I felt a glimmer of hope that I could trust in a supportive, understanding sibling relationship this time around. I was dropped off at my small rented apartment, just a 5-minute drive from Tromsø city, after they kindly helped me with my baggage. I can still vividly recall the anticipation I felt as I sat in their car, looking forward to the days ahead. I was eagerly awaiting the moments when my brother would help me unpack, show me around Tromsø, take me rappelling, and we would bond as brothers once again. These were all promises he had made if I decided to move to Tromsø. After they assisted me with my bags and bid me farewell in my new apartment, they left, and for the next 12 months, I never saw or heard from him, despite us residing in the same city. I tried calling him, but he never had the time to return my calls. Little did I know at the time this happened because he still harbored the belief that I had been brought into this world with the intention of stealing his mother from him. I found myself standing in my new apartment, a sanctuary away from the influence of my biological parents. This moment stirred a whirlwind of emotions within me. Simultaneously, there was an overwhelming sense of joy for finally breaking free from their influence and the weight of their expectations. However, in stark contrast, I was also grappling with intense feelings of fear, isolation, and an acute lack of self-assurance, all of which were a direct result of my father's relentless belittlement. As I stood in the compact confines of my rented apartment, the quaintness of Tromsø, the city I had chosen to move to, suddenly felt suffocating. A tinge of regret overcame me, accompanied by an unshakable anger towards my older brother for failing to come through for me in my time of need. Being the younger sibling, I had anticipated unwavering support from him, yet inexplicable jealousy had molded an invisible barrier between us. This sense of betrayal only added to the weight on my shoulders. Amidst all these conflicting emotions, the thought of returning home cast a dark, looming shadow over my mind. The realization that succumbing to this pull would only validate my father's hurtful words and strengthen his belief that I was incapable of overcoming life's challenges sent shivers down my spine. However, despite the allure of familiarity, I was determined to resist this narrative. I made a firm decision to stay put and confront my circumstances head-on. In the midst of this uncertainty, I found solace and refuge in my unwavering faith in Jesus and the grounding principles of Zen Buddhism, which imbued in me the ability to find peace and strength in the present moment, even amidst the turmoil of conflicting emotions and life's daunting uncertainties. Even though I had left my childhood home, the influence of my biological parents extended to Tromsø. My biological father insisted on calling me every day at 5:30 p.m., a time he deemed necessary to check up on me and belittle me over the phone. At first, it was comforting to hear my father's familiar voice in the quiet of my rented apartment. But over time, it became clear that this daily ritual was another way for my father to exert control over me. If I missed his call, my biological parents would express disappointment, making me feel obligated to answer. The sorrowful tone in their voices triggered guilt within me, even though I no longer saw them as my true parents. However, this guilt paled in comparison to the overwhelming remorse I felt when I was blamed for nearly causing my biological father's death. Tromsø, a city known for its capricious weather, frequently disrupted the phone lines, fueling my father's already vivid imagination of worst-case scenarios. His worry would often reach extreme levels, almost leading to health scares and the risk of a heart attack. I vividly recall being unfairly accused on multiple occasions of causing my father severe distress because the weather prevented me from answering the phone. The intense pressure to provide a legitimate excuse for my absence only led to unwarranted blame and accusations, leaving me feeling caught in a manipulative and guilt-ridden cycle. Following my brother's rejection, I found myself thrust into a challenging phase of my life. Despite the emotional turmoil, I managed to secure a temporary job as a truck driver, navigating the picturesque roads of Tromsø to deliver goods to various destinations. At the same time, I embarked on the study of social anthropology, immersing myself in the complex tapestry of human cultures and societies. Balancing this academic pursuit with my part-time role as a beer delivery truck driver in Tromsø presented a unique set of challenges. These diverse roles did not come without their difficulties, and lacking a support network, I had to learn to navigate the trials and tribulations on my own. The lack of proper training in these demanding jobs often led to missteps and errors, but through this, I gained valuable experience and resilience. I was working part-time as a truck driver, struggling with the meager income it provided. One day, feeling financially strained, I turned to prayer, seeking divine assistance from Jesus to help me secure a full-time job. Ideally, I wanted to continue working as a truck driver, but my desperation led me to be open to any job opportunity that would provide stability. However, amidst my job search, I faced a significant challenge in the form of my brother, who had recently re-entered my life to perpetuate our father's belittling and critical behavior towards me. During one of his visits, he callously remarked that I would never be successful in Tromsø due to the locals' inability to understand my dialect. His words cut deep, leaving me emotionally shattered after his departure. In response to his hurtful comments, I decided to take action and sought the help of a speech therapist to learn how to speak with a Tromsø dialect. During my call with the speech therapist, I found her to be incredibly understanding and supportive, as she assured me that she had no trouble comprehending my dialect. Her professional reassurance held great significance for me and provided much-needed validation, unlike the hurtful words spoken by my brother. However, despite the encouragement from the speech therapist, I continued to struggle with the confidence to pursue job opportunities that would involve customer interaction. One day, while browsing through job listings, I stumbled upon an intriguing advertisement for a full-time professional cleaner role at ISS Cleaning Service. Despite lacking any previous experience in the cleaning industry, I decided to apply. To my surprise, I was offered the position. Little did I know at the time that my journey with ISS would turn out to be a defining chapter in my life and the reason why I got saved, but I'll save that story for a future blog post.